Okay, Roshan. So now we are on second page of this chapter. Okay, I'll be reading first. Garo, Khasi, Naga, and Mizo hills are the hill ranges of the northeast. Garo, Khasi, Naga, and Mizo hills are the hill ranges of the northeast. These ranges are not very high and are covered with thick forests. Okay, northeast is what? Okay, you have the map of India in front of you. Okay, northeast means if you see the states of, let's say, Mizoram, or the state of Assam, Nagaland, that portion. If you see, which Baba right now can help you, you can ask him to identify it for you. That entire area of India is known as northeast. Okay, so in northeast, these are the hill ranges: Garo, Khasi, Naga, and Mizo. Okay, these ranges are not very high. Okay, but they are covered with thick forests. Some of the highest peaks in the world are in the Himalayas. See, Himalaya is a full mountain range. That means there are many mountains in that particular range. Okay. The Himalayas are divided into three parallel ranges. Number one, the Greater Himalayas, called as Himadri, has an average height of 6,000 meters and is the highest range in the Himalayas. The middle or the lesser Himalayas, called as Himachal, lies to the south of Himadri and has an average height of 4,500 meters. And the third is the outer Himalayas, or the southernmost range of the Himalayas, known as Shivaliks. The average height here is less than 1200 meters. So this all is very important and it has to be underlined. Once again, I told you where is northeast of India. You saw now in the map. Okay, so that entire portion of India is called as northeast. Okay, where you have states like Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Assam. These states are in the northeast. And in this area of India, we have hill ranges called as Garo, Khasi, Naga, and Mizo. Okay. And then here it is mentioned that Himalaya is divided into three ranges. So the question, if the question comes into how many ranges Himalayas is divided. Okay. So Himalayas is divided into three ranges. Number one is called the Greater Himalayas, which has the highest peaks. Okay. That is known as Himadri. The middle one is Himachal, and the smallest or the lower ones are Shivaliks. So Himadri, Himachal, and Shivalik. Okay. Now we will see all these in details. The Greater Himalayas or Himadri. Okay, I'll be asking you this question. Name the three ranges. So you should be answering Himadri, Himachal, and Shivalik. Now we will be talking about Himadri. So now I'm reading, okay? The Greater Himalayas or Himadri is the northernmost and highest range of Himalayas. The mountains are permanently covered with snow. Glaciers are also found in this region. Some of the glaciers move down the slope and reach the warmer regions where they melt to form streams and rivers. Okay, so now what it says is that Himadri is the northernmost, okay, from where probably the India starts. Okay, so that is Himadri, and it is permanently covered with snow. Always 12 months, 365 days in a year, it is covered with snow. Glaciers are also found in this region. Okay, now what is glacier? Glacier is, you can say, a large chunk of snow. Large, as big as, let's say, half of Goa. The entire glacier could be like that. So you can imagine that much snow. Okay, Now, some of the glaciers, they move down the slope and they reach the warm region. And obviously, when it is warm, they will melt, and that's how they form some rivers, streams, fresh water. Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, lies in this range in Nepal. Okay, world's highest peak is Mount Everest. That's a GK question as well. And it is actually a part of Greater Himalayas, but it lies in Nepal, not in India. Okay. Kanchenjunga, Nanda Devi, and Nanga Parvat are the highest peaks of the Greater Himalayas in India. So if somebody tells you which is the highest peak or the highest mountain in the world, then it is Mount Everest. Okay. And where is Mount Everest? It is in Nepal. And Mount Everest is a part of Greater Himalayas. Okay. So Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, lies in the range in Nepal. But in India, it is Kanchenjunga, followed by Nanda Devi, followed by Nanga Parvat. And they are in India. Okay. Jozila Pass and Karakoram Pass are the two mountain passes located in this range. Now, what do you think could be a pass? Simple. Pass means a passage. Okay. Now, for example, let's say this is the mountain, for example. Okay. Now, if this is the mountain, this side there is an area, this side is an area. Okay. So Karakoram or something could be a pass like this, so that you can pass through one area to another. Okay. And later we will, for our discussion, we'll understand what is the use of a pass. So once again, Jozila Pass and Karakoram Pass are the two mountain passes located in this region. The temperature remains very low throughout the year, and cultivation is not possible at such a height. It is difficult for humans and animals to survive in this region. Okay, now see, let's take one by one this particular thing, the Greater Himalayas. Once again, to revise, what are we now learning? We are learning about the Himalaya mountain range. Okay, I told you that if this is India, this side is sea, this side is sea, this side is sea. And on top, the north is actually entire mountain range. So this mountain range is known as the Himalaya. Himalayan mountain range is divided into three parts: Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. Okay. Right now we are talking about Himadri, which has the tallest peaks. Okay. The most tallest peak in the entire world is Mount Everest, but that is in Nepal. In India, we have Kanchenjunga, Nanda Devi, and Nanga Parvat. Okay. And all these mountains are permanently covered with snow throughout the year. Okay. Temperature is super cold over there. Okay. And there are two passes, Jozila Pass, Karakoram Pass, in these ranges. Okay. It is very difficult for humans and animals to survive in this region. And do you know why? Because when you are at top, at that level, there is absolutely zero or close to zero oxygen. You know that we need oxygen to survive. Okay. Animals, humans, even the plants. Okay. We all are living beings. We need oxygen. At such great heights, there is no oxygen available. So it is impossible for anybody to survive over there. Okay. So this is about the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. We move on to the middle or lesser Himalayas, which is called as Himachal. Okay. This lies in between Himadri and Shivalik. Shivalik is the lowest, Himadri is the highest. So in between comes your Himachal. Okay. Here the mountains are not that high like Himadri, and temperatures are also not so cold as Himadri. Okay. Rohtang Pass is a high mountain pass in this range that connects the Kullu Valley with the Lahaul and Spiti Valley of Himachal Pradesh. Now, okay, see, it is getting a little bit too much information right now. Let's understand this way. I was telling you, suppose this is the mountain, okay? Now there's an area this side. So let's say this is Kullu Valley. Then there is an area this side, which is Lahaul and Spiti Valley. In between is the mountain range. Now, if you have to go from Kullu to Lahaul, either you can go over on top of this mountain and then you slide down, or if there is a way in between, that is known as pass. So if you want to go from Kullu to Lahaul, nature has given you a pass that you can go through it, and that the pass which is there in these middle Himalayas or Himachal Himalayas, that pass is called as Rohtang Pass. Okay. The mountain slopes are covered by dense forests of pine, oak, deodar and fir. Okay, these are the different types of trees. The mountain slopes are covered by dense forests of pine, oak, deodar and fir, which provide forest products like wood, fodder and fuel. Okay, so these are the type of trees that you get in this area. Underline it. The types of trees which you get over here are pine, oak, deodar and fir. And you know, like, for what you need these trees? We need the trees for wood. Why do we need wood? You have to answer this question. Why do you think we need wood? Separately you have to answer this. They provide fodder. What do you mean by fodder? Well, fodder is food for animals. Animals, they eat what? Like cow and all, what they eat? Grass or leaves, those kind of things. So these mountain ranges, these trees, they provide fodder for the animals. And not only for animals, actually for animals only, because we can't eat anything from pine and oak, And fuel. Fuel means, see, that in villages and all, they use wood as fuel to cook their food and all. Okay. Orchards and tea plantations are there on the lower slopes of this region. So which means that if the mountain is this big, over here you will have pine, deodar, fir, on top. And then as and when you are coming down, you have orchards of fruit trees. Then you will have tea plantation, chai that we drink. Okay, so chai, where it comes from? It is also a plant. I'm sure you are not aware of it, but tea leaves are what we actually, process. They become small tea granules, and that's how we drink it. So this is the mountain range. Top will be deodar, fir, the other trees. And then as you're coming down the slope, that's where cultivation is also possible. Human beings can do agriculture here. So here you'll find the fruit orchards. Here you will find the tea plantations. So therefore, see the last line of this page. Therefore, unlike the greater Himalayas, the lesser Himalayas are well populated, because I told you greater Himalayas means no oxygen. So there can't be anybody staying there. But these are lesser Himalayas, which means oxygen level is also available. Trees are also there. So possible for human to survive. So these areas are well populated. Once again, real quick, from the beginning, what we are reading the physical division of India. When I say physical division, which means that you can physically identify this part is North India, this part is South India, this is East, this is West, this is Goa, that's Maharashtra, that's Punjab, So that's physically you can identify which is where. And I told you that India is the 7th largest by size and 2nd most populated country in the world. Okay, the 3 sides of India it's surrounded by water. Bay of Bengal in the east, Arabian Sea in the west, and Indian Ocean south. And on top, which is the north, is what we have Himalayan ranges. Okay, Himalaya is the Sanskrit word known as, the meaning of Himalaya means abode of snow or ice. Okay, and what else we did? There are certain numbers which I told you to keep in mind, like what is the range for how many kilometers and everything, which is there. You have underlined. That is something which you have to mug up. Okay, you have to remember by heart. Then we see that Himalayan ranges are divided into three parts. The Greater Himalaya, which is Himadri, Middle Himalaya, which is Himachal, and the Lower Himalayas, which is Shivalik. The difference is because of the height of the mountains found in these mountain ranges. In Greater Himalaya, it's all snow. 12 months in a year, 365 days in a year, it is always snow. You find glaciers over there, but no human being, no trees, no plantations, because there is no oxygen there. Then it comes down to Middle Himalayas or the Himachal, wherein on top you have trees like fir, deodar, pine, okay, and when you come down, then you have orchard plantations like fruit plantations and tea plantations. And this is where then people also live. Why? Because there is oxygen available to survive. So this is about this particular page. Underline the things which I have told you. And yeah, let's move on to next page in next video.